Okay, everybody sit down and relax. It's Wednesday, it's noon, it's time for Maui Nonprofit Notes. Aloha, welcome. We're going to talk story with Maui's nonprofit executive directors and their staff to find out how they're working to support the needs of Maui's community. We're sponsored by Pacific Source, Maui's best source for building materials, with a cabinet and appliance showroom open to the public. See, I can't read. I have to do everything ad lib.
It's not even Wednesday.
It's not even Wednesday?
It's not even the end of Wednesday.
Oh, right.
Halfway through.
Okay, all right. Well, the best half is yet to come, I hope. Anyway, they have a cabinet and appliance showroom open to the public in the Waikapu Bayshard. I'm Susie Tiemann, Interim Executive Director of Lokahi Pacific and President of the Maui Nonprofit Directors. And I'm happy to introduce my co-host for today. Hey, Sherry.
Hello, Sherry Dotson with Habitat for Humanity Maui.
How's everything at Habitat?
Good. When are you going to stop being interim? That's my question.
When I grow up.
And get a real job?
Yeah. It's kind of like when I'm going to start drinking coffee, you know, when I don't want to grow anymore. That's height-wise. I realize we're on radio and nobody can see me with the hand motion going up.
Well, during this hour, we'll be sharing the experiences of how nonprofit community leaders and their agencies work to benefit our beautiful island home, with stories of how their agencies are changing lives, changing communities, and creating miracles of hope. And today we have an agency that definitely changes people's lives, Hawaii Job Corps. We have Julie Dugan with Hawaii Job Corps, and Bob Upton, and Marshall Norman. So we got three of you. Welcome.
Welcome.
Oh, thank you. Hello.
This is, the Job Corps has always fascinated me, and I don't know why. I guess I know some people who've worked there, and I've heard some stories, but I've got some really basic questions like, how do you get in? How do you, where do you go from there? So, Robert, you want to take it away?
Well, I think, before we start that, it seems to be one of the best-kept secrets is that about Job Corps, and that's one of the reasons why we're here, is so everybody can hear some of the good work that we're doing. I think Julie can start off with a little more.
Sure. I just want to give you an overview of the program. It's a well-established program. Nationally, it's been around for 48 years. We've been serving the youth of Hawaii for over 46.
Oh my
Actually,
gosh.
it started back with President Johnson's war on poverty. We were part of the Economic Opportunity Act, which also included programs like Head Start, the community health centers, adult education. And so we've been striving for over 46 years locally here. We've had campuses on the Big Island, Kauai. Currently, we have our main campus on Oahu in Waimanalo, and also our campus here in Maui.
Okay, now you say campus. This is actually a school.
It's actually a school. The majority of our students reside on our centers.
Oh, okay. So it's academics. Because you hear Job Corps, you just think about jobs. But
Sure.
this is academic.
We're mainly a career training program, but again, the young people might need help finishing up their academic goals. People sometimes ask me, what's a typical students? We have high school graduates. We have people that have dropped out of high school and realize I can't get any type of job without a high school diploma. So we can help them finish their academic goals and then put them right into, at our Maui site, we have 4 different career tracks.
Okay, so you have, teachers up at the campus?
We have academic teachers and we have our vocational instructors.
Oh, great.
But again, pretty much all 120 reside at our Maui campus, and all their basic needs are taken care of. We have beautiful dormitories, cafeteria that offers 3 nutritious meals a day. All their basic medical, dental needs are taken care of. The concept is that all their needs are taken care of so they can concentrate full-time on their career goals.
Can I sign up?
After me.
If you're a young adult between the
Oops.
ages of 16 and 24...
Oh, just missed it.
Gosh, wish I'd known about it last year.
Liar.
Sorry
So
about that, Julie.
16 between the ages
16 and 24 and meet the low-income guidelines, the federal low-income guidelines.
So is it 50% and below or 80% and below?
50%. Yeah.
50% and
Federal.
below income.
Income.
For the family or for the individual?
For the individual.
For the individual. Okay.
Yes. And again, if they're under 18, usually it comes with a family.
Usually they're not. Okay.
Terrific.
And so they live on campus.
They reside on campus, the majority of them. How many non-resident students do you have right now?
On Maui, majority of our students are residents. We have actually, as of today, we have 134, and 3 are non-residents.
Oh, that's it.
But we allow, as many as we can to be non-residents. It's a great opportunity for somebody who is still living at home. They come to campus from 8 o'clock in the morning till 4 o'clock in the afternoon, like a work day, and then they go home. So that's a really good option for a lot of our students. A lot of them need the structured environment of the dormitories, and that's why they end up staying with us, and that makes a big change in their life. They have chores every morning. They have to get up early. They have chores in the evening to do. They all take turns doing KP, taking care of washing dishes, and cleaning our center. So it is like a little community up there. We pretty much, we can be self-sustaining for a while. We actually have supplies for a disaster, so we are able to probably take care of ourselves for a couple of weeks.
Wow.
And
So they go ahead.
that's right. I've been talking a lot. I'm just fascinated by the program.
Well, I am too, and I am thinking from the standpoint of it's self-sustaining because the students are taking care of things.
Yes.
You don't have to hire outside staff to come in and do a lot of your work around the place.
That's true. We for maintenance, we have 1.5 time worker for the maintenance, and the students do the rest.
Oh, that's great.
We have a facility maintenance program where the instructor helps the students. They were going to go to, if they get hired, they'll be working, building apartment kind of maintenance. They work in the condos, and so they take care of our campus a lot. They do a lot of construction and maintenance, so it saves a lot of money.
Now, do they just do work on the campus, or do they go off campus and work?
They have we have a program called Work-Based Learning. It's like an internship program, and the students, once they're done with at least half of their training, they're eligible to go out to different employees in the community. In fact, I think, Julie, you have a list of some of our more active employees, and it's a fantastic partnership. The students can be with them up to 12 weeks. They don't have to get paid, and basically the employer can groom them as they want, and if they decide to hire them, they can hire them. If they don't want to hire them, we can send somebody else for another 12 weeks.
Yeah.
So it's a great ongoing program to develop them. All we ask is that you do your share and actually do some training. Mm-hmm. It's not just free labor.
Right.
We have a lot of really good community partners that end up actually hiring a lot of our students. So it's not just the work-based learning; they turn into a job. So it's a great relationship. And
So now the kids, I refer to them as kids. 16 to 24 is a kid, right?
mm-hmm.
To us.
Yeah.
Anyway, when they don't have to be problem kids. Okay.
Yeah, and I think that's the biggest misconception people have about Job Corps is that people hear about it and they think it's a program. Oh, it's a program. They must deal with bad students or bad kids, and that's the biggest misconception that we want to change in the community. Is no, we just work with young adults that want to get jobs, that want to succeed. Sometimes, they might have some behavioral issues here and there, but for the most part, we have a lot of fun, and we have some amazing, incredible students at the Job Corps. And basically what we're trying to do is we're just trying to give them the skills to help them succeed in life, to help them discover actually who they are and then who they want to become.
Yeah, maybe they just didn't fit into the regular structure of the DOE or of,
Exactly.
regular college, and it's just not their thing. There's a lot of kids like that.
Yep, and we see that. We see some students come into the program that maybe had a really difficult time completing high school. High school is a real struggle. They get into Job Corps, and they just glow. They really understand what the job they want, what career path they want, and they get on that, and they really, really succeed in this program. So it's a great program for certain individuals that really want to develop their job skills.
So they don't have to learn all those other subjects that they don't care about. It's learning the career path items.
Well, when you start thinking about job development, yes, we all want a job, but a lot of times having that job comes with so many additional skills that we need. Bob and Julie both talked a little bit about developing those social development skills. Those are skills that you learn, when you're not even actually working, when you're in the dormitories or when you're even back at your house. What does it mean to balance a checkbook? Okay, well, in order to balance your checkbook or even balance your account, what do you need to know? You need to know mathematics, okay? How can you decide what rental agreement do you need or how to sign a lease? Well, you need to have good reading comprehension skills. So in order for these students to get jobs, they have to be well-rounded and well-developed. And so we just don't try to get them placed in a job, but we really help with their overall personal development.
But science and history and
And those subjects are so in tune with what today's current workforce is, though. If you want to do business technologies or be an office assistant, you need to understand like computers, facility maintenance. You need to understand the new green technologies that are out there that are available for our community.
This place has got my vote.
One of the things that we do offer with our students, they get their certificate from the Department of Labor completion, that they completed a program, and almost all of the students get an industry certificate of completion. So they're certified in, like our students in facility maintenance are certified in green. They get green certification. Our food service people, our culinary arts, our food service managers. We do OSHA 10. Retail sales, we're doing customer service certification. So all of them not just leaving with Department of Labor with the industry recognized certificate, so can help them get that job.
The extra step.
Yeah.
Julie, you wanted to say something.
Oh, no, just to piggyback on what Marshall said. Again, we're operated by the Department of Labor, and they've outlined 8 career success standards. Like you said, the computer skills, the interpersonal skills, the customer service skills, diversity. How important is it to know cultural diversity in the workplace these days? So they have a whole set of standards that we follow, in addition to the curriculum for the 4 different career tracks. And also, we're in the business to help local employers meet their workforce development needs. So we just don't listen to Department of Labor. We ask our local employers for their input. So we do have an industry advisory council. So we have someone that represents culinary. Are we teaching the right curriculum for your needs? If not, help us make some changes. So again, we're just not going from the National Department of Labor standards. We're tapping into local employers to make sure, again, we're meeting their needs.
Yeah, because Maui's unique. We're, Hawaii is unique in our social skills, on our cultural.
Let me have Julie read us some of who our community partners are. These people will take the students in for work-based learning to 6 to 12 weeks, and the majority of them are actually hiring our students, and that's the bottom line is it's Job Corps. Yeah, so.
Sure. Just a few of our partners, and some of these are newly established. Some of them we've been partnering with for many years. Aloha Lei and Flower Design, Aloha House, Beach Bums, The Kitchen, Denny's Restaurant, Fairmont Kelana that you were talking about earlier. Mama's Fish House has been a partner for many years. Maui Express Car Wash, Minute Stop, Moana Cafe and Bakery, Pacific Whale Society, and I'll mention some more.
Wow, that's a pretty good list.
I think we've got well over 40 different partners.
Yeah.
That it just depends on the student, the match.
Marshall was talking about one of the misconceptions. I think there's another misconception out there, and that is that this is all guys.
No, it's a program. It's guys and girls. We actually try and meet the standard of keeping it 50-50, but no, it is not all males. It is
but
not
don't you hear
all
that?
Females. I haven't heard that one.
It started that way originally.
Okay.
In the Civilian Conservation Corps back in the old days, it was all male.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
We're showing our age. So
you said it, not me.
Trying to keep the balance of 50-50.
Yep. Yeah, and so we really try to do that. So if you're of that, some of the income lines that Julie was talking about meet the standard 16 to 24 male and female. Those are the young adults that we seek to serve at Job Corps.
So you could go into any of these businesses and you could see some people working, and they may be Job Corps kids.
That's definitely.
Yeah,
for sure.
It's great.
There's quite a few of them.
What a great benefit for both the community and for the students. And we're going to talk a little bit more, but we're going to take a break now and hear from our sponsor.
Aloha from Pacific Source, and thank you for your support over the years. Pacific Source has offered more of what builders and homeowners value most in building materials and cabinet design. We've done this by offering superior customer service and products, as well as by designing kitchens and baths that are intelligent and elegant while staying true to your vision and budget. Visit our showroom in Waikapu in Central Maui, where we display a variety of cabinets as well as top-name appliances like Sub-Zero, Wolf, Viking, KitchenAid, and more. We display countertops, tile and wood flooring, and several brands of windows and doors, including Fleetwood multi-slides and La Cantina folding doors. Come in and talk to our designers about making your dreams become a reality. From concept to completion, we really believe our attention to detail and superior service are what sets us apart. Let us show you what we mean. We are a Pacific Source at 515 East Oahe Way in the Consolidated Base Yard in Waikapu, just off Waiko Road. Call us at 986-0380 That's 986-0380, or look us up online at PacSource.com.
Aloha, and we're back. Yeah, see? I told him not to turn your microphone on.
No, we have to, because in the spirit of our former leader, Keith Walter, we're going to do a Maui nonprofit note.
Keith, are you listening?
He probably is. So the question to you, Susie, is what does a 90-year-old dead Italian economist know about modern nonprofit fundraising? Oh, that's a stumper, huh?
Hello. How do you find out what the dead economist knows?
Well, he knew it when he was alive.
Oh.
Ever heard of the 80-20 rule? No?
I don't think this one.
Well, 80% of the land in Italy is owned by 20%, and 80% of the peas in a garden usually come from 20% of the pea pods. And in fundraising and in our donors, 80%
of your funds come from 20%
of your donors. Right. Which means
concentrate on the donors.
The 20% donors. Be nice. Be nice to your donors.
And that's kind of what we say, when I was teaching entrepreneurship, that's the same thing.
Yes.
80%
definitely.
of your income comes from 20% of your people.
Now, see, you guys are funded through Department of Labor?
Correct.
Okay, so are you solely funded, or do you...
Solely funded through Department of Labor. And up to this point, we've been on a very short list of programs that gets at the same level or increased each year. This last year, we got at the same level.
Oh, great.
With the Budget Reform Act coming up, there's going to be cuts. Luckily, what we've heard from D.C., there's a list of criteria for, there's going to be some cuts, so they're looking at closing some centers. Again, this is the forecast. There's a list of criteria. For a lot of states, there's several centers, so they're looking at consolidating some of those. We really don't fit any of that criteria. Performance, of course. I talked about funding each year when we get at the same level or increased, but as a taxpayer, you'll be happy to know every time that happens, they raise the level of expectations. And in these days in government, how they talk about transparency and accountability, Department of Labor holds Job Corps to some very high performance standards. So you have to meet those standards for continued funding. So as far as the program here in Hawaii, we're pretty safe.
Pretty safe.
But we still have to continue to perform. And those performance include academic achievements while you're in the program. How many students that wanted to come in to obtain their high school diploma did? How many students completed their career training? And it just doesn't end there. We're Job Corps. So Department of Labor tracks us pretty closely. How many of those students got jobs when they graduated from the program? How many retain their jobs at 6 and 12 months? They look at wages, and they look at an increase in wages over a 12-month period. And I'm happy to say that Hawaii Job Corps does a very good job. Right now, we're operating at about 103% of our overall goal.
Oh, that's wonderful.
That's terrific.
That is
wonderful. And from the list of people that you've got as your partners, I mean, some of those are pretty well-known and impressive companies. That won't hire just anybody. So that's
correct.
A good
In
sign.
addition to all this funding talk, our members of Congress vote on the funding every year. And I'm happy to say that all current 4 members of Congress are huge Job Corps supporters. Without our Senator Inouye, who's been a supporter. In fact, I talked about the Economic Opportunity Act that was signed back in 1964. We have a photo in our office of a very young Senator Inouye looking on while that act was signed, and he's been a huge supporter since.
Well, I don't see any downside of this program, so why wouldn't they be a supporter?
Right.
It's a benefit to the community, benefit, again, as I said, to the young adults. Now, if somebody out there listening is interested in getting involved, either they know somebody who might qualify, or them. I don't know if 18 and 24-year-olds listen to this station, but to our program, but we hope they do. How do they get in touch, or what do they do?
We've just hired a recruiter for Maui. We've been recruiting from Honolulu, and so it's been a little bit of hit or miss. So recruiter for Maui will be in the next starts on May 7th, I think, so we'll have a local number. But for now, we have a number in Honolulu to contact the the recruitment supervisor, and I can give you that number if you want. It's
Okay.
808-721-8298.
Now, can they go on the website, or do they get information there?
They can get information from the website, but to apply, you need to contact one of our recruiters, and Lori Nakata will get you set up. And again, in a week or two, we'll have our own local number, so that'll be we'll publicize that so we can have more people. We do outreach already. We've gone to the high schools, and the high schools come to visit us. So that's one of our biggest things is to find these students.
Is it a continuous recruitment, or is there a
We have an
recruitment
intake
period?
Every month we bring students in, and every month we graduate students. So it's a year-round program.
So it's
yes,
continuous
it's
recruitment.
continuous.
So, that's great.
Do you have like tours of the campus?
We have
they can
offered
come to?
yes, we have offered tours anytime. All you do is call up and make an appointment. I know Lori has been having groups come on campus for prospective enrollees, so we are definitely open to any public visitors anytime. And we have community relations meetings up there, and we've got some of the best food, I think, because a lot of our students are trained to go work at the Fairmont. They're going to work at the big restaurant, so they better know how to cook right. And so, as you said, it's not.
So you guys eat well up there, huh?
We do eat well, and I used to be a 90-pound weakling, but as you can see, you can't see me,
can't
but it's
see.
not there.
Oh, you look great.
Yeah,
He looks healthy and happy. Let's put it that way. There
Now,
we
you
go.
mentioned customer service. Obviously, you teach your students how to do that. Now, is there any program where you go out into the community and help, just an existing business train, their own employees for?
We don't go out to train business partners, but we do a lot of community service events, as you mentioned. But other people do that kind of training.
Well, I know, Susie, you mentioned that they came down to help you guys learn how to serve or teach you how to serve.
Yeah, when I was over at MEO, we were having a big fundraiser for the transit center when they kicked that off. And one of the things that they'd asked all of us, anybody who wanted to help out, to come to this training session and learn how to serve. And this was going to be your, really elaborate meal. And so, serve from, I can't remember, right or left, pick up from right or left. How do you don't just take the pitcher and go over the middle of the table and start pouring. Things like that. And that was pretty exciting.
We do have a relationship with Baldwin High School where our students have actually mentored their culinary arts program. So we are going in the community as much as we can. It's just the students are focused on their jobs. And
I didn't realize Baldwin High School had a culinary program.
they do.
Oh, well, isn't that fun?
We learn all kinds of things in this show.
Well, I had
It's
heard they had like
fabulous.
a carpenter's type program and that kind of stuff. But I didn't
Automotive and all that kind of stuff, yeah.
Automotive. I guess they do because I've seen our teams come in first quite a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but it's just, I guess I'm hung up on the idea that you were talking about. It's the best kept secret. I mean, we all know some of the things we do in our organizations are the best kept secrets. How do we break out of that? And I think that Marshall, you kind of hit on it a little bit when you said that the kids decide. Sometimes the parents decide.
Yeah, so what we really encourage the students to do is we want young adults that are interested in the program to call our admissions counselor. So once again, her name is Lori Nakata. Her number is 808-721-8298. But we want them to take that first initial step and call and seek out more information about the program. Because if it's the young adult that is making that active choice that they want to decide to get employed, to get that job, they're going to be a lot more successful in the program. If they feel that they're being forced, if they feel that they're being pressured into the program, we're going to see not as much change come out of them. But if they really come into the program, that's their own active choice, and they make it their own, we'll see a lot of success with that type of individual.
So is there? We talk about 16 to 24-year-olds. Is it heavily weighed towards the younger ones or the older ones, or is it pretty spread out?
I think the average age is about 19.
Okay, so you've got a lot of high school dropouts
Yes.
that just say,
Well, a lot of students actually have completed high school,
Oh, okay.
and they're just looking for instead of
next
going to
step.
college or something like this is another career option instead of going to a community college or the university. We do send a group of students every year to the college program, so we allow that, and it's an advanced training program. There are other if I can mention about other
Sure.
advanced training programs that we have, that Job Corps has throughout the country. There's 125 different Job Corps around the nation. A lot of them have an additional training aspect to them where you can complete your basic training at a local Job Corps and then go to this advanced training. As an example, we sent a local student from Maui High. He was one of the typical students Marshall was talking about, had a difficult time fitting in socially. He was kind of a nerd, but really wonderful
Go
guy.
nerds, go nerds.
He was doing really good. He was really wonderful. He is now in New Jersey at the A-plus training program of the Job Corps in New Jersey. Job Corps paid for him to go there, and they'll pay for him to come back. We have a large contingency of students that go to San Francisco to the Culinary Academy in San Francisco at Treasure Island, and then we have another large group that go to the Transportation Career Union in San Jose and Los Angeles. So lots of options besides just local options if they want to continue their career. And when they go to a mainland center, Job Corps will pay their way there, pay their way back for vacations, help them find jobs either there or help them bring them back here and find jobs here. So it's a really good way to get the students, local students exposed to the mainland and still have that chance to come back home.
Right.
Yeah, because
So-
it is amazing how many young kids have never even left Maui. When I was growing up, there was a handful of kids that had we were 18, 19 years old. They'd never left Maui. And going to Oahu was a huge,
deal.
yeah, well, getting on a plane.
Getting on a plane was
It's
a big
amazing,
deal.
yeah.
You were talking about transportation. What kinds of jobs in the transportation area would somebody come out of
The
that?
students, they've
prepare
worked
for?
for Amtrak. They've done, they work for Southwest Airlines. We've said stewardesses, ticket agencies, those kind of things for travel agencies. So the Transportation Communications Union, they do a lot of different things in the mainland. I know they have some electrical kind of things. It's not just transportation. They kind of expand it. They can do, on a train might need servicing, so you need to know how to service the train. So there's a lot of different options, different programs. They have heavy equipment operators in I think in the mainland some places, nursing programs. So there's a lot of broad range of different trains that you can get to.
So these are all the career paths.
Yeah.
And you don't necessarily have them here in Hawaii, but that doesn't mean that if a student doesn't see their career path or what they're thinking locally, that doesn't mean that they can't.
We're encouraging them to
Yeah.
continue their training and go off and do
Sounds
that.
like Maui campus is a doorway to the future.
Very
Yeah.
good. That's a good way to do it.
To go on to bigger and better things, but it kind of sets the standard for you, for them.
And that's what it is. A lot of times you'll hear this new buzzword out about the failure to launch generation. You'll hear that being said about a lot of 16 to 24-year-olds. What Maui Job Corps is that it's that place to learn your career path, to start opening your eyes to different directions that you want to go. Maybe if you come into our program and you decide culinary arts, that's something that you're really gifted in, you have a lot of skills to offer in that field. Well, you can go into and take the initial stream of culinary arts and then go on to advanced training, what Bob was talking about, and maybe specialize as a pastry chef.
I see. Yeah, so you start off, it's kind of like going to a junior college and then a big college and then maybe a master's, but it's all in the technical side.
Yeah,
So-
exactly. That's a good way to look at it, too.
Huh.
I like it.
I like it too.
The more I hear, the more I like. You're right. It's the best kept secret.
Yeah, and that's we're trying to get the word out. We'll tell a little bit about our campus,
Okay.
if you will. It's Mauna Olu campus, and if you have never been there, I'm inviting you up to come up there. It's a beautiful place. It was actually built in 1900 by the Baldwin family as a Hawaii school for girls, ages of 6 to 16, as a seminary. They taught English and domestic arts and Christianity. Patsy Mink was one of the people that attended this school in her youth.
Oh, really?
And she was actually one of our keynote speakers for graduation, and she was just in heaven to come back to that place
I'll
after
bet.
so many years. So with the onset of World War II in 1941, the seminary was closed, and it became a military dormitory and a hospital. In the 1950s, it became Mauna Olu College, which lasted until about 1972, and then 1972, the Maui County took over, and they had other programs, youth shelters, and I know actually former Mayor Charmaine Tavares was doing Upward Bound from there. So,
Oh, that's right. I remember that, yeah.
and at one time it was the police academy. So it's been through a lot of different incarnations. And in 1987, the Department of Labor decided to fix it up for the Job Corps. So we've been there since 1987. Mayor Hannibal Tavares was the mayor at the time, and he helped us open it. And our first director was Norman Smith. He actually lived on the campus there now. Now I live in Makawao, so I'm not
Too far from
there. Yeah, not too far away. In 2006, something unique kind of happened. We have a partnership with the Marshall Islands. And in 2006, they moved that. They had a remote Job Corps in the Marshall Islands in Kwajalein. The military closed that, and they moved that program to Maui. So now we've got a group of Marshallese that come right from the Marshall Islands to us, and they stay with us for several months, and then they move on to other Job Corps around the country. And that is actually one of Marshall's main jobs, is to deal with that aspect of the culture. So I'll let him talk about that in a minute.
Was that a coincidence, Marshallese?
It's, yeah.
I don't know. I joke around with the students about that all the time, though. I've now become Mr. Marshall Islands at Hawaii Job Corps Center. But
I don't think you look like people from the Marshall Islands.
You know, that's what I think.
You may not
too.
know that,
That's
radio
what-
audience.
yeah. That's what struck me first. Yeah.
Your name may be Marshall, but I think that it ends there.
Yes.
Exactly.
So anyway, Mauna Olu, that means mountain of peace or serenity. And so it is a very peaceful campus. Again, we have 134 students, a lot of them Marshallese, not Marshallese, but Micronesians. Anyway, that's pretty, maybe we can talk a little bit about the Marshall Island program and what you deal with and how we can incorporate our Micronesian population into our community, because I know there's some questions about that. And
Yeah, so the Marshall Islands Preparatory Program, what we have at Maui Job Corps Center, is really unique to our center. And so what Bob said is basically we take young adults, both male and female, from the Marshall Islands, usually from either Ibai, Kwajalein, or Majuro, and recruit them directly into our program. They're here with us on Maui, usually for about a period of time of around 3 to 4 months. And during that 3 to 4 months period, we really help them develop their English language capacity, math and reading skills, and then also introduce them to career technical training as well. A lot of them come into Job Corps and they think, oh, you want to know what? I'm going to come in. I want a job as a doctor. Well, you want to know what? To become a doctor is far more complex. But if you have that dream of becoming a doctor and maybe even working in the healthcare field, we can slowly start to work with you and develop a career path for you. And so that's one way that we're seeing a large influx of our Micronesian, especially our Marshallese, coming into our community and helping them to become employed, finding a career path for them. So once they can become employed, it has that trickle-down effect within their family and then within their greater community as well, too.
Yes.
So, do you go to the Marshall Islands to
I-
recruit? Or?
I currently haven't gone to the Marshall Islands yet to recruit, but we do have a recruiter over there
I see.
within the Marshall
Okay.
Islands that they'll recruit the students, and then we basically see them here on Maui
I
after
see.
they've gotten off their flight and welcome them into the program that way. So a lot of times it's kind of a shock to our Marshallese students. It's definitely a big culture shock, but we really like to see them grow and develop within the 3 to 4 months that they're here in the program, and they really do. They really come out of their shell. They really they have such this positive attitude and such this willingness to learn, and that they're very adaptable. And so one thing that we do is once they're done with their initial training, their 3 to 4 months training here at Maui Job Corps, we seek to then transfer them on to a mainland Job Corps center as well, so they can do a bulk of their career technical training there, and then just also see a different culture on the mainland as well.
we also recruit from most of the other Pacific Islanders. They have their own recruiter. We've got a very large contingent right now from American Samoa. We've got several students from Palau, from Pohnpei, from Yap, all those Micronesian islands. We've got, in fact, we have more Pacific Islands than we do locals, and that's one reason why we're here. We wanted to get some of our local Maui students to come to Job Corps. Where are you?
I know there's students out there who could benefit from it, but I bet you that it is just like you said, the best.
It's
secret.
a best kept secret.
It is,
and there's some misunderstanding about what it is.
now you have a open house coming up.
Yes, and May 17th, we're going to have an open house, and we'll welcome you up to our campus. We're going to be having campus tours for everybody from 9 o'clock until 3. We're going to have lunch and entertainment from 11 to 1 o'clock, where we're going to have some of our students dancing and some healthy choices food. We're very much into giving them healthy alternatives. We even sneak brown rice in on their white rice. They don't know that, but now they do. It's mixed together.
Robert, hang on just a second. We got to hear from Pacific Source.
Aloha from Pacific Source, and thank you for your support over the years. Pacific Source has offered more of what builders and homeowners value most in building materials and cabinet design. We've done this by offering superior customer service and products, as well as by designing kitchens and baths that are intelligent and elegant while staying true to your vision and budget. Visit our showroom in Waikapu in central Maui, where we display a variety of cabinets as well as top-name appliances like Sub-Zero, Wolf, Viking, KitchenAid, and more. We display countertops, tile and wood flooring, and several brands of windows and doors, including Fleetwood multi-slides and La Cantina folding doors. Come in and talk to our designers about making your dreams become a reality. From concept to completion, we really believe our attention to detail and superior service are what sets us apart. Let us show you what we mean. We are a Pacific Source at 515 East Oahe Way in the Consolidated Base Yard in Waikapu, just off Waiko Road. Call us at 986-0380. That's 986-0380, or look us up online at packsource.com.
You know, I called Paul the other day and I told him I love hearing his commercials. He's got such a great voice for those commercials.
He does. He should be on radio.
Yeah.
He is on radio.
Yeah. Hello, Paul Halverson from Pacific Source. He's the guy that honchos the folks over there and decided to pick up this radio show. And in our third year,
He's the reason we can do this every week, and we can promote our nonprofits, our fellow nonprofit directors, and our programs, and let the community know what good work we're doing out in the community.
And you know what astounds me is that, you know, we think we know a lot about the folks like Roberts, who's in our Maui Nonprofit Directors Organization. We think we hear about the programs enough, but when they come on the radio show, you know, and they get right down to the nitty-gritty of what they do, how many people they do it for, I'm just astounded.
I know. I want to give you a call because we have our Habitat for Humanity Restore. We can help train retail and customer service. I know.
There you go.
Yeah. We'll be a new partner.
There you go.
That's
great.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Just before the break, Robert was starting to tell us about the job fair coming up. Why don't you go back into that? That's coming up on May 17th?
May 17th. And it will be up on our campus in EK Drive in Makawao. And there's a big blue sign. If you go up Baldwin Avenue, you can't miss it. And we're at the very end of that road. So we're going to be starting off again with some campus tours, some entertainment. We're going to be providing healthy choices of meals. One of our partners of Whole Foods is going to be up there helping us prepare and so demonstrate how to be healthy. A couple of things that are happening with our community partners. A group of our community partners are going to be providing mock interviews where they're going to actually interview our students. When we interview them, they're comfortable with us. So if somebody from outside comes in, it's more like a real job. So they'll be going through that. We will have display booths of all our trades, showing you what they can do, some produces, different things that we do on campus after hours, activities, recreation. We also have a large green program. We've got a huge indigenous garden where we grow a lot of our own food, and we're looking to market that. And then after lunch, we're going to be having some employers from the community come up and actually do the job fair portion. So from about 1 to 3 o'clock, and we're still looking for more of you employees out there. If you're interested in looking for somebody to hire, we'll have our students with their resumes in hand, ready to go to interview and hopefully make some connections to get some jobs with them. So again, all community partners, please welcome. Please come up. Not just employers. It's open to all the public. You don't need to make a confirmation or RSVP. Just show up. We will have plenty of food for everybody and a lot of space. Come and learn and see firsthand what we actually do. You can tour our campus, see the dormitories, which you're not going to believe the dormitories. It's like a nice little resort. I mean, they're fantastic places. And again, see what the students do and meet the students, meet the staff, and maybe we can become partners too.
Yeah, and maybe if you're out there and you're thinking that sounded kind of good, but you're a little nervous, come up on May 17th and see what it's about. And and if you've ever passed that sign and wondered, I wonder what that Job Corps is. I see that sign all the time. Just stop in on May 17th between 9 and 3.
Yes.
Yeah.
Perfect.
That's terrific. That's terrific. Oh man, I just learned so much every week. It
is amazing. It is amazing because I definitely kind of knew what Job Corps was, but certainly didn't know the extent that you guys didn't know, certainly about the Marshallese program, and that's wonderful. We actually have a couple of volunteers right now from Marshall Islands volunteering at Habitat. So, yeah.
So on the Maui campus, you've got about 130
Yes.
Students, participants, however you
We call them,
classify
we're students. Yeah, they're
students.
yes.
Okay. On Oahu, how many have you got?
250.
250.
We have room for about 220 in the dorms, and then we have about 30 to 40 at any given time that commute each day. A lot of those are young parents. And we actually have a child care center there that cares for their children while they're concentrating on their career goals.
Wow.
And that's out in Waimanalo, right?
Waimanalo.
So you guys have a big campus like Maui, or probably not as nice, though.
It's not as nice, but it's beautiful and it's new. It's a very nice place. Very pleasant.
They're both beautiful campuses.
It doesn't have the
But you
history we have.
You can't beat Maui. No.
Right. Are you on the other islands? Or not at this point?
Not at this point.
Okay.
Just Oahu and Maui.
Well, it doesn't mean that if you know a student or somebody on an outer island, because you do have dormitories, they could come and stay on Maui or stay.
We serve
Neighbor
all of the
island.
youth of Hawaii.
Neighbor island, not
Neighbor
outer island.
Oh, okay.
Where are you from?
I'm from Maui.
Oh,
So we have a fairly large group that come from the Big Island and Kauai also. So we do have the connection for the other islands. Again, the problem is sometimes there's not so many jobs on the Big Island.
Oh,
so
to go home.
Sometimes it's better to come to Maui and stay on Maui, and that's another hard decision for a student who's grown up on the Big Island and comes here for an opportunity. Then at the time they want to go home, there's not always jobs there, so it's a lot of scrambling.
But that happens whether you're low income or whether you're,
Yes.
go off to college to the University of Hawaii and you can't come back to Maui because there's not a job. It happens all the time.
One of the things that Job Corps does do for the students is when they complete their program, they get some monetary rewards. They get to take home about $1,000 for completing their trade and their diploma. So with that money, and hopefully they earn a little bit money of their work-based learning time, that's hopefully enough to get set up, because that's been the challenge for us. Is it's easier to find a job than to find a housing for us.
Right.
So they have to partner. 2 or 3 will live together in an apartment until they can get on their feet. So.
Mm-hmm.
So now, how many on your staff to do all this teaching and training? You have paid staff?
We have 40 staff.
40 staff.
Full and part-time. A lot of part-time staff, but we've got, again, academic instructors. We've got the trade instructors. Support staff is myself, and we have residential advisors because we're open 24/7. So we have to have advisors in the dormitories. We've got security staff. We've got a nurse, 2 nurses actually, and we partner with Aloha House for substance abuse and mental health services. We've got a physician that comes on our campus. So we have a lot of staff and then subcontracted staff. So I think secretaries, they always do. They run the show, right? They know what's going on.
Well, you know what? Today is
it is Secretary's Day.
Oh,
yeah.
Well, we don't call it
Professional
secretaries
It's
anymore.
Administrative Assistants Day.
Yes, administrative
and
assistant.
I promised my administrative assistant that we would go out to lunch today, so I have to apologize to her.
Uh-oh.
We will do it later.
You better.
Terrific. I just totally flipped
you
out
did?
on that one.
Oh, no, I made brownies for my staff last night.
Oh.
I did.
Did any of them get to the office?
Yeah, I don't eat brownies. That's why I had to do the brownies. I don't like chocolates.
Oh,
And everybody else does. It's safe for me to do the chocolate.
That's the secret. I got you.
A couple other things with the students that are available, what we call for leisure time employment. If you want a student to come work at your house on the weekends, or usually weekends and evenings, all we ask, you come pick them up, pay them minimum wage, feed them lunch, and bring them back, and they're yours, and they work really hard. I have a couple of students going out this weekend to do some weeding. They'll come to your house and clean your house. They help do construction work, whatever you need. They're fantastic workers, and you pay them minimum wage to come out and do this. That's called leisure time employment. So,
Wow,
big
that is
program.
great. Yeah.
What is there a local number to call for that?
You can call me for that one. 579-6540. That's our campus number.
Cool.
Now that one is a gem in the hide, and let me tell you, because there's a lot of people. We deal with a lot of kapuna who can't do their own yard work and they can't help. So I'm definitely going to take down that number and pass it on to some of our families.
Please do. We have a lot of people are starting to take advantage of that, and it's a great.
Do they have
way
their
to-
own supplies? Like weed whacker, or
no.
So you have to have
They're
the supplies.
basically it's a weekend leisure time activity, so it's not to do with job. They're on their own. So that's why you kind of pick them up and drop them off. So it's their chance to earn a little bit extra money on the side.
Well, that's great. Yeah.
That's true. Because it's really hard to find somebody to do odds and ends. Everybody's. You'd think in this economy, we keep hearing how people need to make money and they're not making money, and yet I went out for some.
It's hard to find good help.
I went out. Any help. I went out for a quote this week to do some painting at my house. The living room ceiling. One guy quoted me $2,700.
Wow.
This is just a living room ceiling, 20 by 30.
And we have facility maintenance people who have been trained how to paint. They can do carpentry work. They do drywall. You name it, and they can do it.
They do drywall.
They'll do construction. They're learning about all the construction trades. A lot of our things on our campus have been built by our students. They renovate our classrooms. They've built gazebos for us. It's just a fantastic support system that they have.
Okay, now mention again all the curriculums you have that are up there. I know you have the culinary.
Yeah, so culinary arts, facility maintenance, retail sales, and office administration. Those are the 4 career technical training programs that we have. Students are also enrolled in mathematics, reading, and ESL courses as well too, if they need that supplemental help too while
what
they're
is
in the
ESL?
program. English as a second language.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why don't you tell a little about the career preparation part? 'Cause I think we have some time left here.
Yeah, career preparation. This is an excellent program because this is also what I instruct, and this is something that's really passionate, that I'm really, really passionate about. I basically tell the students kind of like your boot camp before Job Corps. And career preparation, we talk about what do you need to do, not only to succeed in the Job Corps program, but also what do you need to do to succeed in your future job. So it's really in this career preparation that we start talking about employability standards, or those career success standards that Julie was mentioning, workplace relationships and ethics, communication, multicultural awareness. Those are the skills that we need to start developing and help our students develop while they're in this program, because those are the skills that are really going to help them be successful while they're at Job Corps, but in turn are going to even make them more successful when they exit into that workforce. So in career preparation, it's a really fun time. I tell the students, don't worry, don't be afraid about making mistakes, because we're all going to make mistakes. So when we're doing mock interviews, if you're shy, that's fine, because we want to encourage you to build that confidence. And the only way that you can build confidence in that arena is to continually practice those interviewing skills, those public speaking skills. We also go through just, what does it mean? How do you maintain that job, or basically job survival skills? What do you need to do? And job survival skills, it includes everything from knowing how to maintain your budget to things as simple as making sure that your clothes are clean and that your laundry is done, so you have an appropriate work uniform to wear when you come to work. And so those are the things that we really start working on, that we really start helping the students to develop in career preparation. So they're usually in career preparation about maybe 2 to 4 weeks, and then about after that 2 to 4 weeks, they've met all their standards, and then I feel like they deserve to go on to a passing grade, then we'll graduate them on into their next phase, which is their career development program or career development training. And that's the bulk of their 1 to 2 year period of time at Job Corps.
And that's where they learn the actual skills and possibly go out into a real job-like situation.
Yeah, exactly. That's where they really are. They're working either in retail sales, culinary arts, facility maintenance, or office administration. That's when they're developing their skills. That's also when they do their work-based learning or their internships, too.
Sherry, did you see how he lit up when he was talking about that?
I know.
I'll bet he's a great teacher.
Yeah, I can tell.
It's really fun, and then the students
just gets into it. I mean, it's
wonderful.
Yeah, I think
it's who he is.
I think for everybody here to be a staff member at Job Corps, you really love it, or unfortunately some people really dislike it as well. So you're kind of either in that boat. And so, yeah, I know for myself, it's challenging, and the students, they're excellent, and they definitely require you to rise above, and if you uphold that standard, the students will always meet you, and they'll even push you to uphold a higher standard.
Wow, that's terrific. On that note, we have to bring to a close our discussion today, and again, we just want to thank you guys for being part of the show. Marshall, Julie, Bob.
Can you give the number one more time, though, Bob, to call you at the campus?
Okay, the campus is 579-6540.
And the recruiter number? You have that somewhere. That's Ms. Nagata, Lori Nagata.
Lori Nakata from Oahu. It's 808-721-8298. She actually has an office downtown Honolulu.
So. And we want to remind you about May 17th. If you have always wondered what Job Corps was or what that campus looks like, make sure you go up. May 17th sounds like it's going to be a great little lunch and some entertainment, and you're going to learn a lot.
9 to 3. Check it out.
Yes.
Great.
Thank you guys
so much.
Thank you so much for the opportunity.
Oh, Julie, you had one
Just
more
in closing, I'd like to remind the community Job Corps works. It works for the youth. It works for the community. It works for employers. And bottom line, it works for the taxpayers.
There you go. Very good. We just had a couple of things we want to remind everybody about from last week's show. The Kidney to Kind Day is coming up on Saturday, April 28th. That's this Saturday from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. at Queen Ka'ahumanu Center. We had on the show last week a guy named Stacy who was an acute kidney failure, but he was the healthiest looking person I have ever seen, and I'm not kidding. And I think the audience, if you heard last week's show, you realize that it took me about 10 minutes after he left before I really had myself back together, because I could not believe the story, what he was saying, and his attitude about it, especially when he was in the emergency room and they said he should have been dead 2 weeks ago. And he turned to the nurses and he said, "So what do I have to do?" I mean, anyway, so get out there, get tested from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. and find out if you're on.
I just want to say I can speak from experience on getting kidney yourself tested. I am a 2-time kidney transplant recipient. This organization, National Kidney Foundation, does wonderful work. When you go there, you'll see the Hawaii Donor Family Quilt. We always forget that when you get a kidney transplant, there's a donor out there somewhere or a donor family, and we have some wonderful donor families here on Maui.
And Sherry's another good example for us to see that there's life after that.
After dialysis, after kidney failure,
after getting that kind of a verdict, if you will. But I'm so used to talking to you that he just, I can't say enough. Anyway, there's also a home buyer seminar coming up this Saturday as well for the first-time home buyers, put on by Nahali o Maui. And for those of you, again, who were listening last week, and I had so much trouble saying Nahali o Maui.
Why?
It's so easy.
I know.
I don't know.
For those of you who don't know what Nahali o Maui does, they're the land trust organization here. They are in the process of purchasing foreclosed homes and turning them around and selling them in a land trust. Great way to get into home ownership.
And to call to make a reservation for that homeowners, first-time home buyers workshop, 244-6110. For more information on the Kidney to Kind Day, 986-1900.
And thank you for listening to Maui Nonprofit Notes. I'm Sherry Dotson.
And I'm Susie Tiemann, and we'll be here again next week. KAOI 96.7 FM, 1110 AM, and I'm going to run the music for all it's worth. Last time I stopped early, and I go, oh, come on, I could have said some more.
Thank you for listening. How about thank you for listening?
On behalf of the Maui Nonprofit Directors Association, thanks for listening, and have a great week.
Mahalo.